We have with us today somebody who is not a newcomer to our March for the Babies here in Melbourne. In fact, I met him a couple of years ago when he was down here, and I've since got to know him pretty well. He is a member of the Queensland Parliament. He's the former Deputy Speaker of the Queensland Parliament, the member for Cleveland in Queensland. I ask you to give a very warm welcome and a Melbourne welcome to Mark Robinson.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly a great honour to be here today on this, which is an amazing day, the day that Rachel has announced this piece of legislation. It's a very important day for the babies of Victoria. It's a pleasure to be here as has been said, as Bernie said, as the member for Cleveland, and as having once been the Deputy Speaker of the Parliament in Queensland. And yes, Queensland families, Queensland children, Queensland babies are also impacted by bad legislation, bad abortion legislation. It's a pleasure also to be back here in a place that I once called home, having lived in Melbourne and being a Traralgon boy. And to see a great crowd here gathered at the steps of your fine Parliament and wanting to express your views and to make a difference is really important. Can I acknowledge Bernie, and can I acknowledge Rachel and others who are fighting this fight and, like you, not prepared to give up. My message today to you is one of hope, however. Abortion laws can change if we don't give up the fight. Abortion laws, let me say that again, can change if we don't give up the fight. You see, abortion destroys lives. It destroys unborn babies, up to 100,000 every year. It destroys the lives of mothers with psychological and emotional impacts upon them. And it destroys families, as we've seen even very graphically. The US Planned Parenthood scandal has revealed how bad and grubby that really is today in America, and possibly here in Australia. We also see that things can change. Australia can be a place that is free of the scourge of abortion. Many and more abortions are not inevitable if we don't give up. Things can change, and can I say today, your contribution is critical. My story is one of change. I've changed from my years as a young adult, from being someone who is pro-choice to today being someone who is pro-life. Today I'm a life-affirming person and a life-affirming politician. I spent my first 18 years living in Traralgon. I was a secular, non-religious young person in my teenage and young adult years. My view of abortion was that abortion was between a woman and her doctor. I did not understand, I had not received education about the impacts, the terrible and dramatic impacts of abortion upon babies and upon their mothers. Three things have changed my view over time. One was my study of biology. I went up to Townsville to study marine science and zoology, and I studied biology. And in my study of biology at university, in my first degree, I studied the development of the baby in the womb as part of that research. I saw that science taught that from conception, a person is created. They are a new and separate person in the womb from conception. A new baby, a new human individual is created at conception. I learned about stages of fetal development, and I'm not going to go into great treatise of that here. But the baby's heart and heartbeat starts from week 3, the third week, the 22nd day. Brain waves are detected from 6 weeks. Organs are there from 8 weeks. Fingerprints from 12 weeks. Babies are sound responsive from 16 weeks. And the latest research just reported on just the other day, it says that babies are dancing in the womb from 16 weeks. Babies are boogieing from 16 weeks. And that is the latest of our medical research, and science is showing that. How cool is that? So the science that we have today, the contemporary science, is all pro-life. The second thing that changed my view was becoming a father. And I'm proud today to be the father of 7 children. Thank you. I know I look too young. My wonderful wife is here also with me. She did all the hard work in that, I can tell you. We have 7 children. They're all precious to us. We started to know them in the womb, and I won't belabour you with stories of the womb, but my eldest son, who's 27 now, when he was in the womb, at a very early age, if you put your hand on my wife's stomach, he would move around to kick that hand off. He was a hyperactive boy from very, very early. You'd move your hand or on the other side, he'd move his foot and he'd kick it. From very early on, we interacted with our son. And today he's a very hyperactive carpenter. Another one of our boys, Joe. He was very quiet in the womb. He was so quiet we worried if everything was okay. Only to find he's a very shy but a lovely young man today. But things were happening already in the womb. But becoming a father changed my view. And also a Christian perspective of life, just quickly. See, I came to understand, even though I grew up in a non-religious setting, that at university I found Christ. And in coming to Christ, I realised that conception is a miracle. Every child is fearfully and wonderfully made in the womb, made in the image of God, special, unique, the handiwork of God in his creation. I come to understand that perspective. So the science perspective, a parent's perspective, and faith perspective for me, as well as others, say that we must protect our precious babies starting in the womb. So what can you do today? How can you make a difference? You can by doing your bit. In the Queensland Parliament, we've held the line. We had a Premier once who desperately wanted to bring in Victorian-style abortion into the Queensland Parliament. But she got up in that Parliament and admitted there were too many social conservative MPs in the House to risk it. She got up and said, and it was particularly in the LNP, but she got up and said there are too many people who are pro-life in the Parliament. And we held the line. Until today, we've been able to hold the line. Not that I'm proud of our law, but the Queensland legislation is probably the least worst legislation in the nation. We're holding the line. So get behind your social conservative MPs. Let them know you support them. Keep them there. Get more in there. Join a party and use your influence better. The second thing I want to say, and I'm getting near my conclusion here, Bernie, so don't be too worried. There's always a bit of polywaffle when a few MPs get together. I'm very proud of my wife. She's really very much a pro-life activist. My wife Julie, she put up and passed a resolution at the Federal Conference of the National Party just last month that abortion providers by law must provide information about RU486 reversal along with the drug. They must provide that information. That's the new policy nationally. And that came about because pregnancy support groups were saying we're having people come. We're having people come and say, I've taken the first pill and I regret my decision. Can I reverse it? And the answer is medically, yes, you can. And so we've got a change that's just happened in some of the policy. And I encourage you today. We've heard about this new online, phone and abortion tablet, phone and abortion pill. Can I encourage you to contact Federal Health Minister Susan Ley and ask her to reject that idea? We do not want dial a death, and we do not want dial a double death in Australia. We do not want not only our children, our unborn, their lives taken from them, but we don't want our women, our mums, especially in remote and rural areas, making this mistake and ending up as some have had happen, very bad experiences around the medical abortion pill. And today, and I am coming to a close, my third close, today we have witnessed history with the announcement of the Infant Viability Bill. You have an opportunity today to bring about change. Help get Rachel's bill over the line. And I call today on every Victorian MP to do the right thing. Do the humane thing and support this bill. Things can change if we don't give up. Right? I do finally close with this. One of my heroes is a man by the name of Brian Harradine. one man in a parliament who stood up for the rights of babies. He's a hero of mine. He stood against liberalising abortion laws all of his career as a politician. He never gave up. And we can stop bad things happening, and we can win back ground if we don't give up. God bless you.